the room. Got you.
Hello there, how are you?
Good, thank you. Hello, Mr. Kasai.
How are you? All good?
All good, thank you.
Do we have Radhika with us also?
Yes.
We do. Chandu, show us your face.
Hello Radhika, if you can hear me.
There she is.
I think we've met before, in one of the sessions.
Yes, Chandu helped us with the mindset session last month also. So she'll be helping us with one of our breakout rooms today as well.
Great.
All right, so it's 5:02, so we'll get started. And coaches are keeping an eye, so if there's anyone in our waiting room, they will let them in. Thank you all for coming in and joining us on this Friday afternoon. From what I hear, it's a little bit dry in Mumbai, and most parts of the country have electricity, though I know some of our participants and coaches and facilitators don't have electricity, so we're happy to have you all here. Thank you all for keeping your cameras on. It's good to see familiar faces and, make that connection even though we're all in our own homes. Let me just share my screen and we will start. So my name is Monica. I think I have met some of you, if not all of you. And my co-facilitator for today is Daya. Daya, please say hi.
Hi.
Daya and I are both counselors at Gateway, and we have lots of people here today supporting us, and we will introduce them to you in just a minute. But we just wanted to take you through our agenda for the next 45 minutes. We're going to take hopefully a minute or two just to get oriented, go through our agenda, look at our expectations, review our objectives quickly. And then we're going to spend some time doing icebreaker activities because we do want to get to know all of you a little bit, even though it is virtual. Then we're going to go into breakout rooms today. We will have 3 different breakout rooms, and we have some of our colleagues from Gateway who will be supporting us. So we have Varsha. Varsha, can you please say hi?
Hi, guys.
Varsha
Happy to be here.
Thank you, Varsha, is one of our original counselors at Gateway and our co-principal now. She is going to be in one of the breakout rooms with Manda. Hi, Amanda. Amanda is also one of our other counselors at Gateway. We also have Ujjwal, who is helping us today.
Hello, everyone.
Ujjwal is also part of our counseling team at Gateway. And with Ujjwal, we're going to have Radhika Chandrasekharan, or Chandu, as we call her lovingly, in the breakout room. Chandu, please say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Chandu. And then we have Zara. Please say hello.
Hi, everyone.
Zara is one of our lower school homeroom teachers, and she will be helping us with one of the discussions. And we have Andrea, who will be supporting in that breakout room as well. Andrea, please say hi.
Hi, hi.
And then, of course, you all have met our lovely coaches, Nikisha.
Hi, everyone.
And Khadija.
Hi.
And Aditi Khanna.
Hello.
And we have Gomati.
Hello.
And Alicia.
Hello, everybody.
And I am missing one person. Who am I forgetting?
Prerna.
Prerna, please say hello.
I think she has electricity issues.
Okay. And we have Prerna, so she will hopefully join us. So thank you to our coaches who will be helping us with recording and manning our chats. And they will also be in our breakout rooms helping us go through some eye exercises, some eye breaks. So we're going to be in our breakout rooms for about 12 to 15 minutes. We wanted to make sure everyone has a chance to share, and that will be where we get to hear from each of you. We will then come back together as a whole group, and Daya will take us through a Mentimeter presentation to help us reflect and ask any questions. And then Aditi will walk us through the UDL strategies that are different that we've used in today's session. I'll hand it over to Daya.
Okay, so now I'll take you through some of the expectations and structures that we've put into place for today's session. The first is we hope you've all gone through the material that we shared with you, and we hope you've completed the Ed Puzzle assignment as well. We also request that you turn your video on throughout the session, as it'll help us connect with you better. We also do have someone who's manning the chat. So if you have any questions or any comments at any point, please feel free to put them in. If you feel one of us is talking too fast and you need us to slow down, please do put that in the chat and we'll definitely make sure that we change that. We also request that if you have any questions, please do raise a quiet hand. You can do it physically or using your Zoom features. So please do let us know if you have any questions and we'll be happy to answer. For today's session, we'd like to introduce a protocol and it's called Nobody Shares Twice Until Everyone Has Shared Once. So what this means is we'd want to hear from every participant before someone has the chance to speak again. This will just allow us to hear from everybody in the room and make sure everybody's opinions are being taken into consideration. Our objectives for our session is to describe and explain social emotional skills. That's the what. State why social emotional skills are important to develop and identify proactive strategies to support social emotional skills. So that is the how. So throughout our sessions, these have been our learning objectives, but today we'll work on reinforcing this even more. And in our session in November, we'll talk more about child-specific strategies and more problem-solving strategies. I'll now pass it over to Manika, who's going to take you through the first icebreaker activity for today.
Thank you, Daya. Before we go through that, I have received a request. Can I request everyone to change their names to their registered names just so we can make sure we're marking your attendance and we're giving you credit for attending this today? And with that, that is our next icebreaker as well. We know that even though we're all meeting virtually, we do want to get to know your names. We want to know who's in the audience today. So we're going to do an activity called What's My Name? And the way we're going to do this is instead of having everyone just tell us our names, we want to add a little twist, a little fun, hopefully, to it. So we're going to have a minute. So let's listen to instructions and then we will go find these objects or think of these adjectives. What we want you to do is either find an object in your room, in your house, that starts with the first letter of your name and has some meaningful connection to you. So that's your first option. The second option is to think of an action or movement that describes you. Or the third option for today for introducing ourselves is to think of an adjective that describes you and also starts with the first letter of your name. So we have three options: finding an object, thinking of an action or a movement, or thinking of an adjective. And if we're looking for an object or an adjective, let's try to have it start with the first letter of our name. I'm going to start the 1 minute timer so we can all run around or put on our thinking caps and think of these adjectives or movements, and then we will go around and have everyone introduce themselves. So our 1 minute starts now. I can see Mr. Kusai is either stretching or thinking of a movement. I see Sabila is writing things down, brainstorming. I can see Mr. Mustafa is looking around. We still have 27 seconds to go. I see Chandu's bouncing along. She has music playing in her head or she's thinking of a movement. We see you. It's good to see so many smiling faces on a Friday afternoon. And we're down to 3, 2, 1. All right. We hope you've all had a chance to find that object or think of an adjective or think of a movement. I will get us started. My name is Monica, like I said. So I always have my mug of coffee, but I also am joining you guys on my MacBook, which has also become my best friend during the lockdown. So I'd like to welcome you all to this session. Also, as we're sharing, please, there's no structure. So if you can go ahead and unmute yourself, share, because we want this to be a social, informal space. So please unmute yourself, share your name, and then we'll go from there.
So my name is Daya, and I'm going to make a D with my body.
Some stretching on a Friday afternoon.
I'm Radhika and I'm going to do a little mini dance because that sort of represents how my personality is and how I'm feeling.
With the music that's in your head, Chandu.
The music that's in my head.
I see a lot of quiet hands. Mr. Mustafa, please go ahead and introduce yourself. You don't have to raise a hand.
I'm Mustafa. I have a mouse in my hand, which I use while using my laptop.
Ah, yes, yes. Laptops and our mouses are our best friends. Mr. Kusai, you were going to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I don't have an adjective, with my name, so I'll just. I'm curious, Kusai, and I'm looking forward to what Monica is going to say today.
And I have a lot of co-facilitators to add also, but welcome, Mr. Kusai.
Hi, I'm Pavin, and these are you saw one of my pets. This is my other pet, which I walk a lot, I exercise a lot, and I'm a pretty private person, I guess. So I can describe myself as that.
Thank you, Pavin, for introducing us to your pets and sharing a little bit about yourself.
Hello, hi. Hi, my name is Huzaifa, and I'm having an hanger with me. I think I can take the responsibility on my shoulders like this hanger.
Wow, taking responsibility on your shoulders. Welcome, Mr. Huzaifa.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is. Hello.
Yes, Ali Asghar, we can hear you.
Hello. Behind in this pandemic.
Ali Asghar, your voice cut out there for a little bit. We didn't catch
Hello.
it.
My name is Ali Asghar, and I'm putting my anger behind my shoulders.
Ooh, welcome, Ali Asghar, and I love the connection to the session. Extra hurrah for you. Who would like to go next? Wonderful. I love it. Welcome, Taha.
I've cheated a little bit. I don't have an object, but I'm going to act like one of my kids in class. Miss, are we going to play Kahoot at the end of class today?
Khadija, we know you're missing your kids.
Yes.
Thank you for being here, Khadij.
Hello. Hi. Can I go now?
Of course.
Yeah. So I have also brought a hanger. But my why I have chosen hanger, because I like to work with frameworks, and frameworks are like hangers in which you can hang a lot of ideas and hook everything.
Oh my goodness, wonderful connection, Mr. Hussain, and no pressure to the rest of us today. Welcome, Mr. Hussain. It's good to have you here.
Okay, may I go next?
Of course.
Okay, I'm Hatem. I always, almost every time I wear this hat, a religious hat on my head, and that makes me headstrong, by the way.
Headstrong Hatem, welcome. I love that you did a dual. You have an object and an adjective. Hurrah to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am Huzaifa. Honest Huzaifa with an handkerchief. This completes my attire.
Honest Huzaifa with a handkerchief. Welcome to our session.
Hello.
And
yes.
Hello. Hi, I am Jolly Johar.
Jolly Joher. Christmas in August. Welcome to our session.
Hello. It's me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I am Mukarram. And even I am marvelous Mukarram, an adjective to describe me. And I'm always moving, another adjective. A little bit of a kinesthetic person. And I also have a mug with me right now.
Welcome,
Hello.
Mukarram. Marvelous. Hello. And always moving with a mug.
Hello.
Yes.
I am Akhil, an active person leading for some fun activities today.
Welcome, Akil.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I am Tahir. I just came out in my balcony just to show that I am a nature lover.
Welcome, Tahir. Wow, what a stunning view. Thank you for sharing that. So much greenery.
Hi, I'm Mustafa, and I would like to use the word mischievous for myself because I am a jovial person. I am a person with a light heart. I like to play pranks with my friends, but of course, I'm focused on work.
Welcome, mischievous Mustafa. I also see Akshita that you put a comment in. Welcome, appreciative Akshita. She says that she's full of gratitude for everything in life. I know there's a few of you left to introduce yourselves. Please do.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. My name is Shabbar. Normally, I love being silent.
Well, Silent Shabbar, welcome to our session, and we appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Fakhruddin. I am a friendly person. So I prefer a friend who's always quiet. So I am a good friend for everyone because I'm always quiet with them.
Welcome. Thank you for introducing yourself.
Hi, I'm Aditi, and what I think is an adapter trying to adapt to the situation we're all in.
I love it. Welcome, Aditi.
Hi, I'm Zara, and it's very difficult to find an object with Z. So I'm going to go with zealous Zara because I'm very enthusiastic and I like to pursue different things.
Thanks, Zara. Welcome.
I'll go. My name is Varsha, so I'm going to make a we, and I really believe in the power of we. That's W-E.
Welcome, Varsha. Thank you. We'll take another 30 seconds if there's anyone else who would like to introduce themselves. I see Samina, smiling Samina, who with a smile says to life, bring it on. I love that attitude. Thank you for sharing.
Hello,
Yes.
this is Murtaza, and I have money with me. So money makes me motivated to work, and that's practical explanation for everything.
That's very true. Motivated Murtaza with money. Welcome to our session.
I go next.
Yes.
My name is Ujjwal. I'm going to try and make a U with my hand. This is also a diya, which means that I brighten up everyone's life. That is also the meaning of my name. Thank you.
Welcome, Ujjwal. Thank you for joining us today and bringing some light to the session on Friday.
Hello, my name is Mufaddal. Here.
Yes.
My name is Mufaddal, and I have a mobile with me, and I'm easy to connect and always available, like my mobile phone.
Thank you, Mufadal.
Hi, I'm Sabila. My name means that it's a straight path. So I'm like looking for a connection always.
Welcome, Sabila.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I love to have new experiences. So I'll go with adventurous Andrea.
Welcome, Andrea. Ready to go on this adventure with us on a Friday afternoon? And anyone else who would like to introduce themselves? We won't put anyone on the spot. Thank you all so much. This again helps us get to know you all a little bit better as we who will take us through our next activity.
Yes. So now we're going to play a game called You're in My Boat If. And what's going to happen in this game is I'm going to read a statement. And if it's something that you agree with, you need to make a heart either with your hands or with your entire body. The choice is yours. So should we try that? Can everyone make a heart either with their hands or their entire body and put that up to the camera? Awesome. Looks like most people have done that. Okay, great. So now we'll try it with a statement. I'll read a statement, and if you agree with it, you can make a heart and put it up to the camera. So my first statement is, I am attending an online session right now. I see many hearts. Great. The next one is, I like chocolate. I think that's most people. Would anyone like to to share a statement? Anybody wants to volunteer? No? Maybe? Chandu, would you like to share a statement?
We have Taha who was going to share a statement.
Please, let's hear from Taha. I see some people are happy too about that. Okay, anyone else?
Mustafa has a hand raised.
Oh,
sorry, Chandu. 1 second.
Mustafa, please go ahead. Sorry, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
I am a die-hard fan of MS Dhoni.
Oh, I can resonate with that one.
Got some cricket fans in the house today. Chandu, go ahead.
I am just so excited that the weekend is here.
Would anyone else like to share before we move on? Yes, Mr. Hussein.
I miss going to restaurants.
I think we all do. Thank you all so much. We're now going to move on to our breakout rooms. You'll be assigned to a breakout room. You just have to click on it and it'll take you there. And we'll be having some discussions there which will help us understand more about social emotional learning. So just give me one moment and I will send you all on your way.
Thank you, Daya. Coaches, we will take 13 minutes in our breakout rooms for this discussion. And we also have our coaches who will take us through our eye breaks. So you should all soon see a prompt on your screen to join the breakout room. And then we'll do a quick eye break and then we will start our discussion.
All right. You should get the prompt now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for keeping your videos on. I think we'll wait for another 30 seconds just as everyone's pouring in. It takes some time depending on your connectivity to join.
Zara, I think we are all good to go.
Awesome. Okay, so will you share? Okay, so Andrea, will you share your screen? Yeah. While Andrea does that for us, we'll just quickly take you over the structure of the next 13 minutes. So there are 5 questions that we're going to post on the screen one after the other, and we're going to follow the protocol of one person share. All of us will share once before another shares. We want this to be as casual and informal as possible. No answers are wrong answers. Every answer is welcome. It's just for all of us to engage in the session as much as possible. Okay, so with that, Andrea, can we have the first question on the screen? What do you think of when you hear the word social? Just any thoughts that you think of when you hear the word social. And Andrea will type out your responses one by one. Yes, Taha. interacting with other people. So true. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Ali Asghar.
I think social is taking each and everyone with us. I mean, bringing everyone.
Bringing each and everyone together. Amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, go ahead.
I think it's
communication.
It is
Okay, thank you. Joy says communication. Thank you. Mustafa?
I think it is also about interdependency.
That's true about interdependency. Thank you so much for all your thoughts and for keeping your videos on.
The word comes to my mind sometimes is diversity.
Diversity while being social. So true. Yes, Hussain Butwal. Yeah.
It is about being human.
Being human. That's so true. I love how a lot of people are nodding to agree with everyone's thoughts.
Affection and caring.
Affectionate and caring. That's true. I think all of our participants have shared once, which means now we can share again if any other thoughts around this word come up.
If you wanna go to study.
Maybe 10 more seconds. Any thoughts?
Zara, I have one. Fostering relationships.
For sure, fostering relationships. Thank you, Alicia, for sharing. I love how everybody is thinking about different words. And I think we can move to the next question. What do you think of when you hear the word emotional? Same protocol. Everybody shares once before we share again. So, words related to emotional.
Sentiments.
Sentiments. Thank you for sharing, Mustafa. Yes, Hussain Butwala.
Confusing.
Confusing. Can be very confusing. So true. Yes, Ali Asghar.
I would say emotional is something related to heart.
Related to the heart, of course. Thank you for sharing.
Getting to know myself better.
Emotional, getting to know yourself. Yes, Taha, you had a raised hand. Yeah. Very important. Getting to know yourself. And once you've been able to understand yourself, being able to understand other people, super important and something that many of us and our kids sometimes struggle with.
Maturity.
Maturity. Thank you for sharing, Sabila. Any other thoughts on the word emotional?
Zara, how about feelings?
Of course, feelings, yeah. Understanding your feelings, your emotions.
Empathy.
Empathy. That's true. Yes, Ali Asghar, do you have a thought?
Just a thought. We can say projecting our own, projection of our own.
Our projections,
Yes.
yeah. Projections.
I'm gonna
of
just put it
ourselves.
here only.
Yeah, that
Expression.
works.
Expression.
Yeah, we don't have to do just the box. If there are more, please just let it keep flowing. All your thoughts are welcome. I'm loving the thought process. Everyone has their thinking caps on and are super ready to answer. I think we'll give it 10 more seconds and then we can move to the next. If any other thoughts in the next 8 seconds, we'll take them. 7, 6. Yes, we have Hussain. Yeah.
We have two extremes. Like it's a linear thing. Like it has got two.
Like a spectrum.
Yeah, it's a spectrum. Yeah.
It's
So one is like
Video बंद करो तुम्हारा.
That's true. It is a spectrum. You can be on any side of the scale. That's true. Thank you for sharing. And with that, I think we can go to the third question. Okay. What do you think of when you hear social emotional learning? social emotional learning. Yes, Mustafa?
Collective learning.
Can you repeat that?
Collectively learning.
Collectively learning. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Aliasta.
Um, social emotional learning is about, as I said, we are expressing our own self.
Mhm.
That is, when a student or when a learner is expressing, he doesn't have to hesitate while expressing his own emotions and his own thinking. Maybe that is what I think, that is social emotional learning. Emotionally safe, what you say.
So being able to express and being socially safe, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I think it is also about being considerate about what others feel.
So social emotional learning helps us to understand how to be considerate about what other people are, how other people are feeling.
Somebody just said about a word called diversity about when we were talking about social. So if we have if we have a very diverse audience, then it is very important to understand being considerate about their preferences, their learning preferences, their likes, their dislikes. So this is something very deeply related to it.
Absolutely. And so important in our current world and the situations that all of us are in. We need to really learn how to be considerate about other people. And that stems from social emotional learning. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, Joel.
In interpersonal as well as intrapersonal.
Interpersonal and intrapersonal. Can you elaborate a little on that?
You need to be a social person as well as private emotional personal person.
Right. So being okay with both kinds. Yeah, that's yes, Hussein.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness. I'm really liking all the creative thoughts and how everybody is respectful of others' opinions and answers. Yes, Aliaska.
I'm just putting an example what everyone said, what Mustafa said and what Sunday said. We need to be a sponge. We need to accept each and everything what we are getting from others.
Being like a sponge, accepting of everything that's around us. Thank you for sharing.
Self-management?
Understanding and learning self-management, of course, would come under SEL as well.
Zara, how about being aware of the different emotions and the feelings that we have?
For sure, being aware of all our emotions, trying to understand what they mean, how to react. For sure. Thank you, Alicia. I think Taha had a point. Course. And actually, Taha, that thought leads us to the next two questions. So, Andrea, let's move to the next question, actually, which is why are SE skills important to develop? Let's have some thoughts. We have 2 more minutes. So, let's try and make this a little faster. Thank you. Why do we need social emotional skills? I think, Taha, just like you shared, in our day-to-day interactions, we need to be aware of how to interact with another person. Right, and that communication is so important, and being able to communicate with another person apart from the language bit of it is also your social emotional side of things, right? So I guess communication would also be a skill that's very connected to SEL. I saw a couple of
Um,
hands.
it helps us to, I think, it helps somebody to actually maintain a proper leverage. Like, he must know how to carry himself or herself amongst.
Yeah, how to carry yourself. We have exactly a minute for any other thoughts. What? Yes, Sabina.
So it affects all areas of our life, not only academics, not only personal life. I think these skills define a person.
SEL skills define a person in terms of how they're acting in the real world. For sure, it's very real world, connected to the real world. Yeah. Yes, Hussain.
Impacts our overall well-being and happiness, which
It
is
impacts
the foundation.
Yeah.
Helps to attain internal peace, we can say.
For sure, internal peace. Yes, Ali Asghar, last thought.
It will help us grow with our mental health.
For sure, mental health.
Thank you, Nikisha, for putting this in the chat.
Damn, I think I left the breakout room by mistake.
We've all come back to the main room.
Oh.
Manika, our group got in after your instruction. So can you repeat this instruction one more time?
Yes, thank you, Zara. So if everyone can log into menti.com, the website is on your screen. It's also in the chat. And here is the code 492509. That is the code that you need to log in. And when you join the presentation, this question should be on your screen. And if you can take a minute and go ahead and answer it. And in case you need support, do raise a hand or say something in the chat, and one of us will be very happy to help. You see, we have about 14 of you on the presentation who are responding.
Thank you very much.
We have about 22 of you, so we'll just take another 10 seconds in case someone else is still joining and wants to answer. Thank you for keeping your cameras on throughout the session. We appreciate it. Good to see smiling faces. All right, I'll hand it over to Daya.
All right. So our question was, which of the following strategies did you experience during the session today? So we have some people who said rapport and relationship. No one said explicitly teach behaviors. One person said use positive language. One person said group redirection. And majority said all of the above. So would anyone like to share with us why you think you saw rapport and relationship today? Any thoughts?
Mr. Hussain, I see your quiet hand. Please share.
You were mindful to timetable, create some time and space for this connection activity in the beginning, the ice breaking. That was a deliberate thing that you did.
Exactly. So we did build in time to work on rapport and relationships. So we had 2 activities that were building on that. The You're in My Boat If and trying to get to know everybody's name. There was also something else we did. Would anybody like to share? Yes, Mr. Mustafa?
Respecting everyone's opinion is a strong component to build rapport.
Definitely respecting everyone's opinion. Anyone else would like to share? Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Murtaza?
Yeah, the way you communicate, it's commendable, definitely. The way you persuade people from your language and the way you express yourself, it is truly to be learned. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share? Yes, Mr. Taha. Definitely. So definitely the rapport and relationship to build rapport and relationship, we did the activities. We also made sure that we used each other's names when we were communicating with each other to build that sense of community amongst us. And like you said, the way we communicate, the way everyone communicated, we were all being very respectful of one another and each other's opinion. So definitely we built relationship and rapport. Would anyone like to share about explicitly teaching if you saw that in today's session?
Revisiting the norms, expectations.
So going over the expectations for this session, explicitly stating what they were, definitely. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Muslim.
Daya, sorry, I did not get the question correctly. Can you please repeat it?
Sure. So we were just wondering if you saw us use explicitly teaching behaviors throughout the session. Did you ever see us explicitly teach something?
Yeah, I hope I'm not repeating anybody, but like you very positively requested everyone to switch on their cameras by accentuating the positive, you were talking about the people who had switched on the cameras. You were not talking about the people who hadn't switched on the cameras. So you were explicitly teaching us that you should talk about the positive.
That's a great point. That's actually a lovely point. So definitely we did that. Another way we also explicitly taught the behaviors was when we did the icebreaker activities, we showed you how to do it. So when I was explaining to you, you're in my boat if, I showed you how to make the heart. I had you model it. So we went through all the steps of explicit teaching to make sure you had truly understood what was expected of you. In terms of positive language, would anyone like to share any examples that they saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also like to share that Ms. Manika said that I would not put anyone in the spotlight. So that was amazing. But if someone has not spoken yet, he or she shouldn't get the burden that I need to do anything, I need to share.
Definitely.
Otherwise, what people would think.
For
So
sure.
that was a very.
Then you also requested us to log in with our actual names because you wanted to mark our presence, and then you said that it becomes very much easier for you to make a strong connection with us. So
Definitely.
this also was a very strong message.
So we gave you a reason behind why we wanted you to do something for sure. Anyone else? Yes, Mr.
Me? Oh, sorry. Pervin?
Oops, sorry.
Can
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
I specifically, I mean, it was very positive all throughout, but specifically when Varsha was making us use the words, and she kept repeating, "Thank you very much for putting your cameras on." She kept repeating, "This is a closed session. You can say whatever you want. There are no no wrong answers at all. Just say how you feel." And it was repeated a couple of times, so it was reinforced and very positive at that time.
So definitely. And even one thing that we had done at the beginning was we had asked you to turn on your camera. So we told you what we wanted you to do versus saying don't turn off your camera, which would have been what we do not want you to do. So we were very clear in our instruction of what the expectation for the session was.
There's a comment from
yes,
Samina.
sure.
She shared that when we were told that there were no wrong answers, it made us feel free to express. So another example of that.
That's amazing.
And Ali Asghar, I see your hand. Please.
Oh, yes, please share.
A nod after every answer is
Sorry, I think you're on mute.
Eliezer, we can't hear you.
hello.
Yes,
Can you
we
hear?
can. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
A nod after every answer from your side is a humble and a positive response and a gesture. Because whenever we are speaking, that's what we are expecting from the other side.
That's true. That definitely makes sense. Finally, we'll just like to know if you saw group redirection in today's session. Anyone wants to share about group redirection? Anybody?
I'm sorry, I didn't got the question.
Would anyone like to share about group redirection? Anytime you saw group redirection happening today? Yes, Mr.
Yeah, can I share?
Please go ahead, Mr. Hussein.
Yeah, in the starting activity only, you redirected us in 3 types of groups. So if you can choose your adjective of the first letter, you can bring some objective. So it's one type of group redirection in my sense.
Okay. Anyone else?
Mr. Seva, can you share a little bit more about that? What did you? Can you help me understand what what do you mean?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, you redirected us that in 3 types of groups, right? Anyone can choose the adjective of the letter of the name, first letter of the name, or anyone can bring some object. So there were 3 types of groups, so you can choose anything. And I think I'm making sense. I don't know. Please correct me.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. So what you're sharing is a beautiful example of UDL. We wanted to give everyone a chance to express themselves in a way that they were most comfortable. Group redirection is the idea where, we're focusing on the people who are displaying the appropriate behavior as a way to redirect the people who may not be. So I think some of... Yes, Mr. Taha, thank you. Go ahead.
Exactly. So we were praising those who had done it as a way to get everyone else to do it as well.
I saw Monica acknowledging everybody's responses when we just started pouring in with our as somebody said that we were given 3 choices and we had to actually introduce ourselves. And after each and every introduction, there was a very nice, very soft and sweet gesture from Monica. So that was also one way to motivate others to start pouring in. So that is also one kind of a group redirection.
That definitely was one of them. So actually today you did get to see all of the above. You saw rapport and relationship. You saw explicitly teaching behaviors. You saw the use of positive language and group redirection by all the examples you've shared. We can now move on to the next question. So what is one way I will take these strategies back into my classroom? Okay, so someone said using positive gestures for making things work. Okay, that's great. I will provide options and listen more. I think that's wonderful. Giving chances to everyone to express themselves, definitely. Positive attitude towards every single child of my classroom. Explicitly teaching expectations, for example, the body language. Okay. Appreciating every small thing, so reinforcing everything. Awesome. In all possible ways. Specific and true praising needs to be repeated in entire sessions of classes, definitely. So constantly praising your students when they're doing things appropriately, giving them a sense of security and freedom to express themselves also, using appreciative language and words, acknowledging everybody's feedback and rephrasing it in accordance with the output needed. Okay, awesome. Focus on your students who are, so basically group redirection, focusing on those who are doing the appropriate behavior as a way to get the others to follow. Amazing.
Thank you so much. Such wonderful takeaways.
Yeah.
We look forward to you sharing these takeaways on the WhatsApp group as you apply them in your classes, and we want to learn from how you're taking them back too. So please do share on the WhatsApp groups.
We'll move to the next question. One thing I learned from the SEL session is, okay, this one's going to be interesting. So creating a safe environment for every student to learn, communicating positively, learning about one's emotions is very important. And I think the big ideas from today's session were how we can help our students, how we can build that sense of rapport, that sense of relationship in the class. Also using group redirection and positive language with our students at all times, and making sure we've explicitly taught them what we want them to do versus just expecting that they know what to do. Some people have also said to build strong relationships, like I said, to keep students connected, using icebreakers in your classes, how to use positive language with your students. All these are great ways and they're amazing things to take back to your class. Finally, if you have any questions, this is a great time for you to put it down and we'll try our best to answer.
We see some very focused faces, and you can see furious typing. All of you are very focused and thinking about the questions you still have.
So can you throw some more light on group redirection? So definitely. So group redirection is when you see, if you want students to engage in a certain behavior, for example, we wanted you to keep your camera on throughout the session, we would then praise those who have done it. So I would say, good job, Manika, good job, Zara, for keeping your camera on. And hopefully that would be a way to get the other students who had their cameras off to now turn it on. I hope that answers the question. So it's basically praising those who are doing the appropriate thing versus calling out those who are doing something inappropriate.
There's a question about how can we support students with behavioral problems. Do you want to share about our upcoming session?
Oh, yes. So we have another session that's going to be happening in November where we'll be talking more about child-specific strategies and how to problem solve. So we'll definitely be able to answer those questions at that point.
Another question about, we didn't touch on the asynchronous content.
Oh, yes. So we didn't touch on the asynchronous content because there was so much we wanted to share with you today and we didn't have enough time. So we had shared that material hoping that you could go through that on your own. And if you had any questions, you can always email us. Our emails are shared in that presentation itself, and we'll be happy to answer your questions.
And we wanted to use what we call a flipped classroom model. So the idea was that what we shared with you during our async content gave you the background information, and today was more of the discussion and reinforcing those big ideas, and hopefully clarifying any doubts that you may still have had. There's also one other question. Can someone take explicit instruction offensively? Can someone, whoever asked that question, can you share a little bit more about what you mean? I will attempt to answer from what I'm understanding. I think, the idea of explicit instruction is that we break down the content because we want to make sure that we're being very clear in what our expectations are, and we're being, everything that's in our head is being communicated transparently. So I think, there's a lot of research that talks about, especially when we're teaching kids the benefit of using explicit instruction. Of course, when we're breaking down content, we want to know who our audience is. So who are the students we're teaching? What is the background knowledge that they have, which then helps us do that task analysis, which we will learn more about in upcoming sessions, to know how much to break it down, how much to be explicit, and when not to be explicit. I hope that answers whosever question that was. And if it doesn't, please reach out to Daya and myself or ask now, and we'll be happy to share more information. And there's one other question that's coming in that's saying, how can we connect all of the different areas that we are learning about, the SE session, the mindset last month, the sensory motor session that some of you have already attended? And that's a wonderful question. So, there's 2 more upcoming sessions that will actually help you put all of this together. One of them is the November session that Daya talked about, that is supporting our kids with challenging behaviors, because the foundational areas of mindset, executive functioning, sensory motor, social emotional learning will help us do that problem solving. And the other session, I'm not sure what month it's in, but it's a session on child studies. Chandu, do you know what month that is in? In the 5th month, she says. Yes. So
this is the second month. That's in the 5th month of PDP.
I will not attempt to do counting right now with months, but in that session, we will also learn how to put all of this information together to look at our child holistically. So that will be another way. So the idea right now is to front load you with all of the foundational areas, and then we will help you put it all together. I know that some of you have October. Thank you, Samina. I really appreciate that. Also signed up 15 sessions. We want to give you a break, so we're just going to take 1 more minute and hand it over to Ms. Aditi, who's going to just highlight some of the UDL strategies, and then we will go from there. Aditi, I will share my screen.
Hi. So we've been talking about UDL end of every session. UDL is Universal Design for Learning, which are principles that talk about making learning more accessible and effective for all learners. So coming back to this session, let's talk about what are some of the UDL strategies used. So one thing that Radhika Mosquita has spoken about us in the last session was about using audio in your presentations. So that is something that you had noticed, an example of that was shared with you. Another thing is, can you please click? Yeah. Another thing was using icebreakers as a part, which talks about the why of learning. The motivation piece comes here. We're all doing this together, getting to know each other. That is also a UDL piece. And using our body, so multiple means of expressing or engaging. The next was using protocols. Nobody shares twice until everybody shares once. So everybody gets an opportunity to share. And another thing is that if you notice through the async material, we talked about essential SEL skills through theory. Then you saw explicit videos of us teaching that in our classes. And then together, we all did this together in our 6th session. So that is also a UDL strategy. Another thing is that using breakout rooms in itself is a great UDL strategy, because you get a chance, everybody gets a chance to share. Yeah, we're doing the same bit in 3 groups. So thank you. I was as quick as I could be. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much to all of you. We hope today helped answer some questions that you had and clarify any doubts that you may have had. If you need any more information or would like more resources, please do reach out to Daya and myself. or to your coaches, and they will direct those questions to us, and we'll be happy to share more resources. You have 14 minutes before your 6:15 session if you have signed up for that. So please do take a water, washroom, movement break. And Urvi and her team will be here to welcome you back at 6:15. Thank you again so much, and we hope you all have a wonderful weekend.
Awesome sessions, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you, Indira.
Good. Dharmal can't say enough. Dharmal was hearing it too.
Miss Manika, would you like to move into a
Yes,
breakout room?
I was just going to say, Indira, we're just going to move into a breakout room so we can reflect.
Thank you, Mr. Josefa.
Urvi, you're the host now.
Thank you, Mr. Mukarram.
Our breakout room facilitators, we're sharing a separate link with you. If you can all join there, we would appreciate that. Thank you.
Bye, Urvi. Bye, Mala. Bye, Aradhana. Have a good session.
Bye.
We're not hearing you again today.
Hi, Varsha. Thank you.
All the best, guys.
I love it, Mr. Taha. Very socially emotional learning session. So happy to receive these encouraging words from all of you. Thank you so much. We're glad that you're walking away with as much as we hope and we're getting as well from these interactions.
What is this sound?
And we are typing, I think.
Mala and Aradhana, I've just made you all the co-host. Huh?
Chandu, Nikisha, are we moving to a breakout space?
Yeah.
Is anyone moving us there, guys?
I think Monica is sending you a separate link, Varsha. So we wait for them to send it and then we'll join that.
Already seen some wonderful cricket this morning. A great contest between bat and ball. Disciplined bowling attack so far. Disciplined bowling from Pakistan. You don't normally see that. Some hard-fought batting between the England batsmen. Wokes and Butler starting to get a good partnership together. This worth 32. But all the bowlers bowled well. A little bit of spin there from Yasir Shah. Plenty of variety in this Pakistan attack so far. England, Ollie Pope looks a class act. Batted beautifully until he got an absolute ripper from Naseem Shah. He was caught in the gully. Butler's worked hard for his runs. He's looked good in defence. And he was joined by Chris Wokes, who took a nasty blow in the helmet early on in his innings, but together have put together a pretty good partnership. The bowling, well, all the bowlers, all the quickies have bowled well. Their economy rate's good. They've tested the techniques of the England batsmen. They've beaten the bat at times. There's plenty there in the pitch if you bend your back. Yasir Shah's got the big wicket of Joe Root. It has been a little bit, hasn't been as good as he could be. That's the match summary. Pakistan were all won the toss, selected to bat, and were all out for 326. And England in reply are 159 for 5. Joss Butler not out 38, Wokes 15, which means England, they trail by 167. It's good afternoon, Ebony.
Good afternoon, Shane. I think it's first time been on air with you, so hopefully it'll be good fun. But I think we're in a very exciting session. I'll give credit to Butler, actually. Tested quite a bit, especially the outside edge.
Already seen some wonderful cricket this morning. A great contest between bat and ball. Disciplined bowling attack so far. Disciplined bowling from Pakistan. You don't normally see that. Some hard-fought batting between the England batsmen. Wokes and Butler starting to get a good partnership together. Already seen some wonderful cricket this morning. A great contest between bat and ball. Disciplined bowling attack so far. Disciplined bowling from Pakistan. You don't normally see that. Some hard-fought batting between the England batsmen. Wokes and Butler starting to get a good partnership together. This worth 32. But all the bowlers bowled well. A little bit of spin there from Yasir Shah.
Is this your second session?
Plenty of variety in this Pakistan attack so far. England, Ollie Pope looks a class act. Batted beautifully until he got an absolute ripper from Naseem Shah. He was caught in the gully. Butler's worked hard for runs. He's looked good in defence. He was joined by Chris Wokes, who took a nasty blow in the helmet early on in his innings, but together have put together a pretty good partnership. The bowling, well, all the bowlers, all the quickies have bowled well. Their economy rate's good. They've tested the techniques of the England batsmen. They've beaten the bat at times. There's plenty there in the pitch. Already seen some wonderful cricket this morning. A great contest between bat and ball. Disciplined bowling attack so far. Disciplined bowling from Pakistan. You don't normally see that. Some hard-fought batting between the England batsmen. Wokes and Butler starting to get a good partnership together. This worth 32. But all the bowlers bowled well. A little bit of spin there from Yasir Shah. Plenty of variety in this Pakistan attack so far. England, Ollie Pope looks a class act. Batted beautifully until he got an absolute ripper from Naseem Shah. He was caught in the gully. Butler's worked hard for his runs. He's looked good in defence. And he was joined by Chris Wokes, who took a nasty...
To dominate, get that early breakthrough. Yeah, like you said, thought it was going to turn more. Brought him forward, induced the drive, but the ball just sailed straight through the gate. Big moment for Pakistan. Another wicket is the one they wanted. Joss Butler, he goes to 38, 159 for 6.
फ्रस्ट्रेट होके मैंने फेसबुक पे डाल दी तो पता चला कि बैंगलोर हो या गुड़गांव सब पेरेंट्स की हालत हमारी जैसी है। अभी हम सब पेरेंट्स बारी बारी सबके बच्चों को ऑनलाइन कोर्स सिखाते हैं।
दिल खोल के तो देखो, दुनिया खुल जाएगी। फेसबुक।
Well, we're only 1.2 overs in after the break, and Dom Bess is in. Pakistan wanted to strike. There was a maiden first up from Naseem Shah, and then Yasir Shah strikes. Second ball with a bit of natural variation. Looked like a good leg break out the hand. Butler played her turn and just skidded on and hit the top of off stump. There was only a tiny gap between bat and pad. That just hits the top of that. Just everything about the timing of that was right. And Yasir Shah strikes. Yes, he's been a little bit expensive, but he's got two big wickets, Butler and Root. And that's his role in this side, to take wickets. That's what he does. It's not going to be easy for the tail. Spinner to spinner. Spinner never likes getting out to the opposition spinner. So this will be a good little battle. And then Archer, Broad, Anderson. Pakistan right on top. Will they get their rewards for that good work they did in that first session? Best likes to play his shots. Set against his opposite number. Another spinner. So look to score, but the situation of the game, 159 for 6 and still 167 runs behind. Need a big partnership. Tail needs to wag. Here we go. Good start from Yasir Shah. Pull the bat pad in under his nose. Plenty of bounce and plenty of spin. Well bowled again. This is good. Nice start. Pakistan so far. A maiden, the quickie, and then 4 good deliveries with a wicket. Getting a nice little bit of shape. Confidence you feel now for Yasir Shah. Remember, Pakistan have been here since the end of June and haven't played any proper test cricket. Real intense cricket. Take a bit of time. Get into his work now, Yasir Shah. One to go on the over. Play and miss. That's an excellent start from Yasir Shah. A good over too, a wicket made, and it's 159 for 6.
फ्रस्ट्रेट होके मैंने फेसबुक पे डाल दी तो पता चला कि बैंगलोर हो या गुड़गांव सब पेरेंट्स की हालत हमारी जैसी है। अभी हम सब पेरेंट्स बारी बारी सबके बच्चों को ऑनलाइन कुछ सिखाते हैं।
दिल खोल के तो देखो, दुनिया खुल जाएगी। फेसबुक।
Bit of batting to come. Archer abroad, of course, we saw helped out in that last test match with a fiery spell with the bat.
No, going down. Having a little look and just asking a question. I think live it looked like it was always going down. Well, he's going to review to have a look. Let's have a look. Kettleborough gave him an interesting look too.
TV umpire 2 director. We have a player review for LBW. On-field decision is not out. It's a fair delivery. Can we have spin vision straight away, please? Nice and slow, please. Nice and slow all the way through. Okay, clearly no bat involved, so ball tracking when available, please. Ball tracking coming up now. Pitch in line, impact umpire's call, and missing the wickets, Richard. So stay with your original decision of not out. I'll let you know when you're on screen. You're on screen now, Richard.
Well, Richard Kettleborough gave the captain a bit of a look like, are you serious? That's a bit of a frivolous review, that one. Might not have hit leg on another set. Still got a couple of reviews left.
Right there. There's a bit of an emotional decision, that. Yeah, I think it was just after the fact, come out after lunch, a quick over and a wicket. And you're pacey seamer, hits the pads, pushing 90, but it's definitely all emotion there.
Yep. I think right from ball one, the Pakistan have been in, they've been on their game, the way they took the decision to bat first, the way they batted, the way they've bowled, the way they've fielded, the discipline they've shown. They look up for the fight. Oh, well fielded. First runs from the bat. Just want to go back to that Joss Buttler wicket and just to explain to the viewers how important natural variation. It's your best wicket, best weapon as a spinner. Look at that. Joss Buttler feels like he hasn't done much wrong there. There's the smallest of gaps. But you could understand Joss Buttler playing like that with the spin that you've seen from Yasir Shah, and you watch that out the hand. That's a leg break. That's meant to spin. And Joss has played for the spin. He cannot believe it, but your best weapon as any type of bowler, especially a spinner, is natural variation. And that one was a hardly spun leg break that went straight on. No one really did anything wrong. It was just one of those things that happened where the bowler, you just say, thank you very much. You're going to nod your head and say, well, it's a good delivery.
What percentage of your wickets were natural variation?
Plenty. And I never told anyone. They said, oh, that was the straight one. Didn't pick that one, did they? Yeah, he played for the leg break. Right, Bess versus Naseem Shah.
There's Jimmy on the left and Danny Reuben, kind of. Media manager for the England side, has been positioned nicely.
Can't escape.
Six deliveries faced so far for Bess. Had a couple ripped past him by Yasir Shah. Now a bit of pace. No doubt the heart rate is pumping.
Absolutely will be pounding out of that shirt. Big time in the match. Like I say, it's a big time in the game. The heart will be pounding, adrenaline will be pumping. It's 160 for 6.